center lines, you need to ensure that you have a dotted line and not a continuous line to indicate that those are the center lines. And the line is not evenly dotted. There's a long portion and a short portion and a long portion and a short portion of the dotted areas. So that on mine, once again, will differ from yours. If you were to click on yours, in the middle, it'll say continuous, and you would double click on that. For me, I have to go into here, line type, and I would say manage. This is a bit different, but then this box will look identical to yours. So when you are in the right area, you've double clicked on it and this comes up, you click on load, and you're going to run the bar down to center, the very first one, not center 2, but center 1. So it's got a long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash. So you select that, and then it doesn't automatically land on it, so select it again and hit OK. Okay, so now your center lines are line type center, okay? So the other thing you need to make sure is that you have the center point turned on. I do. I have a little green triangle that tells me that's the center. If you don't see that green triangle, let me know and I'll come over and show you how to turn on. So click somewhere over to the side. You always want your center lines to extend beyond your object. Click. And remember to hit spacebar to end the line. And then we come over here and we find the center. And come up. And come down. Spacebar. Okay, so you've got your cross lines, center lines, and now you can build your circle. So for me, I would hold down this little area button here and I see a center, circle, center, radius. On yours, I believe it says circle, radius. So you just want to click on that one. And you come to the center and you click once and you type in 40 for the center one, according to the drawing. So that's 40. And then you can click again in the center. There's different ways to do this, but this is the simplest way to explain. You click again, so hit spacebar to repeat the last command, click here, and this time I want 45, hit enter. So now you've got your circles built, okay? And this distance from here to here is now 50, which is half of the 100 millimeters we put in earlier. Top of our Lego block, this little section that protrudes at the top. And if you look at the measurements on the sheet that was provided, which is in digital format that was emailed to you, the bottom, it states 100 millimeters, and along the top, half of the width is 40, which means double of that is 80. And then what you do is a little bit of simple math. 100 subtracting 80 gives you 20. And because we're only concerned with half of this, you know, just this one half here, instead of the entire piece, 20 divided by 2 gives you 10. So your line, your solid line, is going to start 10 millimeters in from the edge. So what we want to do is get our line tool, make sure that we are on the objects layer, click on the corner, and then type in 10. Actually, I should have moved it in. Hold on one second, escape. So we want to go, you always want to move in the direction that you're trying to go. Okay, now you type in 10. There we go. So we're starting at this point. And then if you look at the drawing, it's 60 millimeters in height. So you put in 60. And 40 plus 40 gives you 80. And then you just complete it with 60 and you hit spacebar to trim it. Now, if you were to zoom in carefully here, it's hard to see on my screen. It's more visible on the PCs. I don't know why, for some reason on the Mac it's not really showing. If you hover over it, you can see that there's this line here. If you hover over this side, you can see it's a solid line, so there's no line there. So there's definitely a little extra piece here. You want to trim that. So on yours, trim is along the top. On mine, let's see, is this, yeah, this is the trim command, is this pair of scissors. So you just click on that, and I believe it's done. Should be. I'm gonna hit escape so that I'm hovering. Yeah, so we have a solid line again, so I got rid of it. Okay, so we got rid of that line. If you wanted to be more particular, you could raise this up higher. It's not supposed to be this short, so you could always do that. You might have done it correctly, whereas I didn't. But you could go back to that layer and adjust it if you want to. So now we can create this center line along here as well. So if you look at your diagram, you have the height here of 25, and the indent, let's look at where our dimensions are here. We'll assume that this is an indent of 5. So we'll go back to the center line layer, grab the line tool. Oh, it didn't change over, so go to center here. And we can start at the corner again, and then move this over here. I mean, you can click there and then move in this direction. Of course, you have to click first. 5. Okay, that looks about right. This height is 25. And the width is, well, if you're taking 5 off, 5 plus 5 on each side is 10. And you're subtracting it from 80. So you would have 70. So this would be 70 across. And then you just complete it with 25, if this is correct. Oops, a little crooked here. There we go. 25. Now make sure your lines aren't crooked. There we go, trimmed. And then once again, I just have to trim this a little bit here. Click on it, gone. Design elements, features that you will need to know in order to complete this Lego block. The first one is adding dimensions. So if we go to the dim layer, and then we find the dimensions area, so that's the left side of your palette. It's sorry, left side for me. For you, it's somewhere around this vicinity here, and you will be looking for one called linear. So click on that, and then select the 2 corners that you want to measure. So I want to measure this corner, and then I'm going to click over here on this corner, and then I'm going to pull this down so it's out of the way of this center line. Click. Now it's supposed to say the length, and you can't read it right now, can you? So what you want to do is type DIMSTY, dim style. Hit enter. Now your screen will differ from mine. You won't have to do this extra step that I have to do. You need to modify, and it might not even be called modify on a PC, it could be slightly different, but you'll end up seeing a window like this. So you click on text, and the text height you want to change to something like 6. Just put in a number, a larger number. Hit OK, and then hit close, and now you can see the number. And the other thing you might be uncomfortable with is how many zeros there are, how many decimal points. So you would type DIMSTY again. Okay, and for me, I have to click modify again. And I want to go to primary units and change precision to 0.0. And then hit OK. And then close. That makes more sense. So that's how you would do all these different dimensions that you see from here to here and so on. On the circle is a little bit different. Your command will be along the top. It should look like this circular shape here. Logically speaking, I should be able to click on that too, but on a Mac, I'm actually going to be clicking on the dim the main dim command. I think that took. And, oh, maybe it didn't. And I'm going to see something that says R40. So it's already correct for the radius. And you just click a second point. So you click on the circle, you click over here, and it puts in the label R40. Similarly, if I wanted this one, I would click on it, and then I would pull this over here in an area where I can read it easily. So that's how that works on a Mac.